Do you feel that with each of those new steps that your abilities get stronger? Do you see a correlation with it?
It's actually happening now because so we do have podcast production. We have the booking agency where we get our clients booked on podcasts. But what I'm seeing is a lot of small business owners and especially women that only 1.9% of women hit 7 figures in their business annually. Yeah. And that shocked us because we were like, this is possible for everybody. And so what we're really implementing and using our intuition and feeling called to do is how do we get their messaging better? How do we help them drive more leads consistently? And so Tamara and I have been really big on just like, we're one of those companies where we don't just like stick to like the exact contract, we go above and beyond. And so we've been diving into more of helping our clients like with getting more leads in their company as well. So it's been a big and intuitive call for us and a push for us to give more to our clients.
Hey you guys, and welcome back to The Psychic Within. I am continuing my interview series with founders and CEOs. So I am here with Danielle Thompson from Broadcast Your Authority, who is a co-founder and the COO. Welcome, Danielle.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're here, especially because I feel like the minute I met you, you were like, oh, I have psychic abilities too, and I love it. And you had all these experiences to share with me, which I thought was really cool because sometimes people get really nervous about saying that they're psychic, or they get nervous about admitting it, especially when they're in the presence of another psychic. Sometimes you feel that, but you were so excited to share. So I absolutely love that. But before we get into that, I want you to share a little bit about who you are and what you do, because unbeknownst to me, like I've seen your name on emails, you actually have done a lot of work on my podcast and with my YouTube channel. And I just can't express enough how grateful I am for you guys and the work that you guys do. So I'd love for you to share to the audience a little bit about your work and your specialty and what you do.
That's so kind. So I am the co-founder of Broadcast Your Authority, and I do a lot of the behind the scenes work. Being on podcasts like this is not my forte. It's very uncomfortable to me, but I love what your show is about, The Psychic Within, because I'm so passionate about spirituality. I'm so passionate about that being a big part of my journey as a business owner. Mm-hmm. And there's been like a lot of signs that I've gotten. First of all, like we're a premier podcast agency, and so we're able to share our clients' messages with the world. So I find it very valuable to get messages across that people need to hear. Like there's like different types of messages. Like obviously like there's companies that talk about like toxicity and households. Like there's things that I don't even think about, but by listening to podcasts, you're able to explore that information and understand it more. For me, spirituality has been a big factor in leading me on the entrepreneurial path. And I had something really exciting. When I was leaving corporate, I told myself, I was like, okay, if I see a caterpillar, that means I'm going to stay in corporate. If I see an owl, I'm going to just go all in, jump into being a business owner. And I wanted to find a freaking caterpillar because I want it to feel safe. And I'm one of my personality types is I like to feel stability. And so it's very scary to jump into entrepreneurship. So I'm like looking everywhere for a freaking caterpillar. Like I'm going in the stores. I'm like, there has to be t-shirts with caterpillars, right? And I couldn't find any caterpillars. And I literally got home and my neighbor put out a statue that was an owl with angel wings.
Oh, it's like a double sign.
Yeah, it was a double sign, and that's really what got me started with spirituality. And there's a lot of other factors that we can go into as well.
Well, first I do want to acknowledge that I know you don't like to be here. So we're going to make it fun, and we're going to talk a lot about a lot of things that you do and a lot of the experiences that you shared with me. So thank you so much for braving it and coming on here with me.
Thank you for making me feel comfortable. I appreciate it.
So one of the things I'd love for you to share with me a little bit about because I know you said you have abilities and you've had some pretty profound messages that have come in. I'd love for you to share a little bit about, I know you had your signs, but when do you remember your first like psychic, interaction or your psychic message? Do you remember when that was, or? Yeah. A profound one anyway?
Yeah, I've had a few. My first one was me and my partner were walking down the Las Vegas Strip, And I had a thought come into my head. I don't usually have like random weird thoughts come into my head, but I stopped dead in my tracks, and I was like, what if somebody was like up from that building shooting down at like a group of people around the Thrive event, which was an event that we would go to every year. It was an entrepreneurial event that we loved going to. And I looked at my partner and I was like, let's not go to Thrive this year. And I was like, that was so weird. Why did that thought come in? And I didn't understand it. And I forgot about the thought. 3 months later, our friends that were at Thrive were like freaking out because there was a mass shooting in Las Vegas where a guy was shooting down at a group of people that were like at a concert. And a lot of them got locked in like the Mandalay Bay. Like they had lockups at some of these casinos. And that's at that moment, I was like, that was a profound moment for me because I had a psychic ability. Something told me that not to go to Thrive.
Yeah.
Because what if I was at that concert? What if I was walking around that concert?
Yeah.
Or my partner, or, so that was my first moment. And then I've had another moment where I just found it funny because I don't know. But anyway, so I had a thought. It was like, oh, you're going to win $5,000 in the new year. I was like, what the heck? Like, why would I even think that? I have an abundance of money. I didn't need money at the time or anything. And so it was just a thought. And the new year rolls around and I don't usually do scratchers at all. Like, that's not my thing. And so just one day my partner's like, hey, let's just go get a scratcher. I was like, what? Okay, whatever. And so we go get scratchers and I'm like scratching it and I'm like, I just won $5,000. Like, what? Why is that even important?
Yeah.
Why can't I have more thoughts in my head that can help more people versus like for my own gain or benefit? Like, I would love to be able to tap into my psychic power to do more for humanity.
Yeah. So first of all, I love these. And one of the things that I want to point out here is that you said you were walking down Vegas, which I think that's a very powerful message to get, something like that, where it is definitely a country tragedy. Like I remember when that happened, it affected people all over the country, if not all over the world. And to get that message of it and see it. And it's interesting because you said, I just had a thought. And a lot of people describe it that way, and it's not necessarily it appears as a thought to you, and that's why a lot of people miss the guidance that we can get through our psychic abilities that guides bring, is because it does feel like a thought sometimes. It does feel like it's just an idea that pops in, or it's like a little voice in the back of our mind, but it's something so random like that, as well as the $5,000 being random. And a lot of the reason that we get those signs or those messages is because of the fact that it's used. It's a very tangible thing that they give you and very impactful. So those are things you're not going to forget, so that you start to say, oh, wait a second, I am psychic. Oh, wow, I did receive this. And if you can receive those, you can receive messages for other people. You can receive messages from your business. You can receive any of those messages. And more than likely you are, but you're tossing it off as, oh, I had a thought, instead of like, my guides are coming in. But we do receive those messages so that we can say, oh, wow, I actually am psychic. And we can start, which I know you say that anyway, but that's a lot of what those are. So I think that's a really, really cool. So one of the things that you've shared with me, I think is really important, is what you do, like the fun things that you do with your psychic abilities. You want to share some of those, and maybe like some of the struggles that you've had, or some of the things that, that you do with them that I think a lot of people would relate to. You were just telling me a story about when you pick cards.
Yeah. So I actually want to share this one story first, because it was like really exciting. I forgot about it. And I was talking to you the other day and I was like, oh, I can't believe I forgot about that story. But I was following a psychic that was like showing a picture, just the back end of the picture. So you couldn't see anything, just but a blank white picture. And she was like, what do you see behind this card? And instantly I saw like a little kid, blonde hair, blue eyes, a little boy. I was very specific in my head. And she flips the card and I was like shocked. I was like, this is a freaking little boy with blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, what is going on? And how would I know that? And so that was like one instant I got really excited about, because it was just like, to me, it's weird that I knew that. And then there was another scenario where there was a video and I could sense a feminine energy to the right of it. And with a long dress on, like I just felt that energy. And when I press play, all of a sudden you see the ghost figure, literally the woman with the long dress on, just walk in the frame. And it was like cool. So profound to me. I was like, how would I know that too? And then like when I was a kid, I didn't ever think of it as a psychic ability. I just thought I don't know what I thought actually, but standardized test taking. I'm taking the test and instantly I knew the answer to every one, like A, B, C, D, right? And I'm like, oh, it's B. But I would second guess myself and not put that answer B that I originally thought it was. And I would try to like figure it out with my logical brain. And I would get it wrong. And so I was really bad at standardized test taking. But I always, when I went back and like looked at the test results, I was like, I said it was that in my head. I said it was that, but I never trusted my intuition and in myself to be able to just mark that as the correct answer. Because I was like, why would I know that if I wasn't really logically thinking about it?
Yeah. And a lot of people do that. They question themselves. Or, you know, one of the things that I really do love about you is that people come to me all the time. They're like, oh, I'm psychic. I just know it. I can feel it. I like get things. You have very tangible things that you get. You have really great stories about like really specific things. And I really like that. I really do hope that you see just how psychic you are with these things. But there are also messages of that aspect of, it's like they're dangling a carrot for you. They're like, hey, look what you could do. Look what you have the ability to do. Look what you can bring to the table when you're ready to pick them up. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you use your psychic abilities for work? Do you
I do.
Like these profound things?
I think I do. When I first started my business with my partner, she was filming a lot of musicians from The X Factor, American Idol, and other TV shows. And she would go out there and she was so passionate. And I was like, how much did you secure for your budget? And she was like, coupons and sleeping on the couch. And I was like, girl, I was like, we're a business. Like we can't, I just quit my corporate job. I can't just
because of an owl.
Because of an owl.
The owl,
good. Of course.
And now your partner is using coupons.
Yeah. And so she was like,
exchange.
but we're going to fine dining restaurant with this coupon. I'm like, I don't want coupons. Like I need to secure budget. So I was like, we should work with business owners. We should work with entrepreneurs and secure budget that way and go that route. So together we came out with the plan and we created social media packages, video packages. And by shifting to that field, like we've been able to make multi-millions in our company. Like we built literally a business from nothing. Like I don't come from an affluent background at all, like lower middle class, almost on the edge of poverty. And I don't want to go into like too much detail about that, but seeing what we've created, it's interesting because just talking to people, we step outside the bottle and we can see how far we've come and how much of a spiritual journey this has been for the both of us. And it's been just quite profound, and I'm excited about the growth that we're still partaking in. So.
That's amazing. Do you feel that the more success you have and the more that you grow on your spiritual journey, because I do believe, and I've seen it, I think, with you guys, with both of you, is that every layer that you come into with your business and every new thing that you introduce, and you guys are doing a lot, it's like it comes because of the journey, of the spiritual journey that you guys are on and the things that you're uncovering and the aspects that you see in yourself. Do you feel that with each of those new steps that your abilities get stronger? Do you see a correlation with it?
It's actually happening now because so we do have podcast production. We have the booking agency where we get our clients booked on podcasts. But what I'm seeing is a lot of small business owners and especially women that only 1.9% of women hit 7 figures in their business annually. Yeah. And that shocked us because we were like, this is possible for everybody. And so what we're really implementing and using our intuition and feeling called to do is, how do we get their messaging better? How do we help them drive more leads consistently? Because like referrals can only take you so far. Like, yeah, you can build a 7-figure business with referrals. Like, it's possible. We've done it. But then when you want to get to 8 figures, 9 figures, 10 figures, like, you need to start implementing other ad strategies to get attention. And so Tamara and I have been really big on just like, we're one of those companies where we don't just like stick to like the exact contract. We go above and beyond. Yeah. And so we've been diving into more of helping our clients like with getting more leads in their company as well. So it's been a big and intuitive call for us and a push for us to give more to our clients.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. So I know you told me that you were psychic. Do you tell anybody else?
I tell the psychic, I hire psychics all the time.
Yeah.
We're going to hire you.
And do you tell them that you have gifts and abilities?
At first I didn't, but I mean, it's been so many times that I've had psychic readings and other types of readings that I've been told that I have other abilities. And not only that, my own experiences that have led me to believe that. So yeah, I mean, I do. I do.
Do you think that it helps you in your business or connections? Like, do you think when you share that, do you see how much it helps you, or do you feel that it holds you back?
I get excited about it. Like,
Good.
Even being here with everybody that's been intuitive.
Yeah.
It lights me up. Like, it's definitely a part of my path that I feel really confident in.
Yeah. Have you ever used your spirit guides? Like, I know you came in recently and you were like, I was outside channeling. No, I was just sitting there. But do you have a practice that you use at all? Or do you have, do you know of your guides? Do you do any of that?
Well, Nancy and Stuart and Bob, just kidding. And Veronica over there. What do you think? No, I'm just kidding.
She was hoping that ghosts would come in the background.
Yeah. Do you guys see anything? Like, right there? No. I've been told that I have a great grandmother that was a medium. Nice. And she was very skilled at mediumship, and she's a spirit guide of mine.
Very cool.
And she's been with me my whole journey. And it was interesting because when I had a medium reading, maybe like 7 months ago, they actually brought her up and they were like, I feel like you have a spirit guide that you've never met in the physical realm, but you've met her in the afterlife before you even came down here. So it really like excites me and lights me up because like it's in my family line too.
Yeah.
That I didn't even know that until after I had a psychic reading. I talked to my grandma.
Yeah. And
she was like, did you know your great grandma was a medium? I was like, what?
Very cool. That's
So,
very
yeah.
cool. Is this something that you think you want to do? Like, you're so successful in your business, so I'm not saying step away from your business, but have you ever thought of bringing it in more or using it? Is that something, like, I know you pull cards.
Yeah. I'm going to go get the deck right now. No, we could do a little reading. No, I think that my intuitiveness is going to come into play and helping more women business owners and men as well. Cause like, the men only get to 6% a year to 6% of men get to 7 figures annually, excuse me. And so it's like, I just want to use that intuitive ability to help them drive more good in the world, because the more money we have together, the more we're able to give back and do different things.
Yeah.
I mean, even with like us, is like, I want to give back to more charity, like for more dog shelters and stuff like that. And so, yeah.
So do you have a belief about psychic abilities? Do you feel like everybody is, or do you feel like it's a special gift that only some have?
I feel like everybody has it. Yeah. And I've heard you say it enough.
So, you don't have to answer the same way I do.
No, everybody does. And I've had an experience with my mom. Like, my mom lives in Louisiana. I live in Arizona. And there was one morning I woke up, and it was like 4 a.m. And I'm the best sleeper, by the way. I sleep through the night. I could sleep on a bus, a plane, anywhere. I sleep through the night. And I did as an infant. And I woke up at 4 a.m. and I was like, my sister's going to call me. Something's going to happen to my mom. Yeah. And my mom got hit on a head-on collision.
Wow.
And she had the biggest lump on her head for like a month.
Wow.
And like, that was just crazy. I don't know where we're going with that, but it was just a fun story that I forgot
I think
to
it's
tell.
just like every single story you tell, every single thing we talk about is just such confirmation that you that your gifts are already open. It's just a matter of you like really recognizing and being like, oh yeah, that's my gift. That's my gift. That's my gift. Because I really don't think there's anything that you can't do or receive. Meaning like, I feel like you can see spirit, you can hear spirit, you can smell, you can communicate with them. And I think the more that you do it and the more that you just lean into, yeah, I'm psychic, I can do this, the stronger it's going to be for you. And I think one of the things that's really going to excite you is when you are getting those messages. And I think that's a huge part for you. Like, I know your partner, she loves that intuition in her business, like in your guys' business, she loves that. But I think something that'll really excite you is when you're actually communicating with your guides and using stuff in your business. But I think that will really help you personally to be like, I had a conversation with my guide today and this is what my guide said. I saw my guide come in and this is the direction. And I think it will really bring this like whole different element into your life.
I'm excited, first off. What I was thinking is because like we've heard a disembodied voice in between us before. Like,
yes, you were telling me that. Yes.
We were on the Queen Mary and my partner was like, is anybody here? And right in between us, we hear, I'm here. And it was like this ghostly, like, I'm here. Like, it was like the craziest thing. And we both look at each other like, what the heck was that? Like, and we captured it on camera and I sent it to my father and he was like, I heard I'm here. I was like, that was crazy because we were the only two in the room. Or were we? Right?
Yeah. Or were
and is it possible to hear spirit guides auditory, like physically auditory? Like, I would love to tap into that.
Yeah, it is. But it's more of when you hear that auditory like that, it's more of a departed being. Oh. So it's spirit guides. How I differentiate the two. So departed loved ones, whether you know them or not, meaning like they're your loved ones or not, are beings who had an incarnation on Earth. So it would be like Grandpa passing, the woman on the Queen Mary passing, and she's still in that vibration of the being she was on Earth.
I see.
You hear those beings, you can hear them audibly because of the fact that their vibration is still very close to humans. So it's easier for you to pick up. Where spirit guides, they can force that energy on you, but they have a higher vibration. Normally it's a different vibration because they're in their spirit essence more so, like that higher self essence versus the incarnation. But yeah, I hear it all the time. You can absolutely hear physically like you
I just have to tap into a higher vibration.
Yeah, that's how you hear more clear is by like raising your vibration, bringing your frequency up higher, and you can hear quicker and faster.
And what are some tips on raising the vibration?
So there are a lot of things that you can do to raise your vibration, but one of them is getting out of your head into your body and expanding your energy. So the more you expand your energy and put like love, peace, trust, flow, higher vibrational frequencies into your energy, the clearer you'll hear.
I love that.
Yeah, releasing heaviness, doing healing, being really trusting of yourself, all those things will help to raise your vibration.
I love that. I had a experience. We rented a chateau.
Yeah.
And it was like the most beautiful chateau I've ever seen. Gorgeous. And we did feel energy because we saw like the lights flicker, but I did feel energy. But one of the most profound things for me was I was in the bathtub with my manifestation music on.
Yeah.
And I saw two orbs, one red and one like blue, and they just were circling the ceiling.
Yep.
And I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But it felt angelic. And so I just coined it as like archangels or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I was hoping they weren't watching me in the tub. But that was the only thing.
More than likely can see you in the tub. They might not be interested in watching you in the tub. So yes and no. But yeah, a lot of times when we see those orbs, those are angels or fairies or archangels even, just showing us that they're there. And those are, when you're relaxed like that, like water's a great conductor of energy. So you'll see and hear and connect a lot deeper with water. But it also is like very cleansing. So in that relaxed state, you'll have a lot more hits come in.
Yeah, that was really cool to see.
This is awesome. Danielle, thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. I know that it's not always something you do is interview, but I've had such a great time speaking with you.
I loved this conversation as well, and I appreciate you having me on the show.
Thank you. If you guys have any of these signs, if this resonated with you, be sure to like and subscribe. We're going to continue to dive in and speak with people about their psychic journey and the hits that they're getting, and I will see you guys next time on The Psychic Within.